Hi guys, I'm back. I haven't made a planner video in a long time, since One Book July 2 years ago, 2017. And that's been because I haven't really been planning that whole time. I've been planning for a very small proportion of the past 2 years actually. I've not been successful in sticking with a planner. I haven't used one for a long time at all in comparison to, people who use them all the time. I can use it for a few weeks and then just stop using it. And it's really, really not good for me. I've been so unproductive, forgetting things, just basically coasting along, I think you could call it. I've just been doing some of the things I need to do and then just prioritising the things I want to do because that's how my brain works. So I really, really, really need to get back into planning. Hence why I am doing One Book July, although I would have done that anyway, even if I hadn't been in a planner crisis. But I've decided that because I am in a planner crisis, I will go with this year's One Book July wholeheartedly, rather than just modifying it for my needs. I will just do it the way that the three ladies, Romany, Miss Vicky B and Carrie, tell you to, because I need the help. So I've bought the bullet journal method book, I've bought a notebook, and I'm gonna crack on. So I hope to be able to plan for the whole month effectively and then continue on. And then even if I don't continue using the bullet journal method as per Rider, I mean, I know you can adapt it to your own system, your own needs, but what I mean is I've got my own planner system which has worked for me in the past for a long time. It's probably been the most effective way that I've planned in the past sort of 5 years, is my own system. So I might go back to that, but at least if I stick to planning with this system for a whole month, then maybe it will get me back on the bandwagon of planning in general, and that's what I need to do. So I bought the book and I've started reading it. I'm annotating it, which to me, it is a bit of blasphemy to write in a book, but I'm writing in pencil, and I've decided, because I'm so cheap and I don't really buy books, I buy them on the Kindle for 99p, and that's about as much as I spend on them. And then I buy them in charity shops. I've actually paid full price for a book, and it's quite exciting. I did go to a bookshop. Well, it was Waterstones. It wasn't a nice independent bookshop. But I did actually pay for a book in person at a till and walk out with a book. So it's quite nice to not have it just delivered, but to actually walk to a bookshop and buy the book. So it's quite nice to think that I'm really trying to commit to this project by buying things with money rather than just using something that I've already got, or downloading the Kindle book for cheaper and then not being able to write comments. Because I think what I'm going to do in the future with books that I think are going to be reference books, i.e. I'm going to need to be making notes and writing down my own opinions, so much so that it's not worth me writing it into my notebook, but I might as well just underline the relevant passages in the book, that it is worth me actually buying the physical book. So I am going to read the book. I'm going to finish watching Romany's video first. I'm also going to watch Carrie's. I've already watched Miss Vicky B's, so that I know what they're doing. I'm going to watch other people's videos as well. But on Monday, which is July the 1st, I'm going to start the project. I might have to start writing in here beforehand to set up the book, although because I haven't read the book yet, to set up the notebook, because I haven't read the book yet. I don't know how far you're supposed to go with setting things up, because Romany does comment on that in the video. But this is the notebook that I've bought. It's from Paperchase, and it's A5, it's dot grid. It's quite a heavy dot grid. It's quite a dark one in comparison to the Leuchtturm. 80 GSM, 360 pages, and it was only £8, which is really fantastic price. I'm sorry about the shakiness. I'm not using my tripod. This is called New Marble Open Bound A5. Yes, you can find it on the website, and I don't know if you can find it anywhere other than Britain. So, the reason I chose this one is because Romany is using the Moleskine Extended, and I've been out of the planner community for so long that I didn't even know they'd brought these out, and they look fantastic because they have 400 pages, which is more than even the yearly day per page Moleskine diary. But this one has almost as many pages and isn't a Moleskine. And the reason I'm excited that it isn't a Moleskine is because the Moleskine paper isn't known to be very good. And I am using one for a notebook at the moment, and the bleed through from some of my fountain pens is awful. So I'm excited that the paper quality in this is better. This is the only thing I've written in it so far, and I did so because I wanted to test the pen. The pen is similar to this one, which is a Uniball iNeedle Micro. The one I used in here was an iMicro. It's slightly thicker than this one, but it doesn't bleed through. Let me turn the page. It doesn't bleed through. There's a bit of show through, but barely. It's just where I've drawn the arrow there. So I'm very glad that the paper is good quality. So yeah, basically I'm just going to start using it as Ryder says to. We shall see. We shall see if it works. So in the past, I've struggled with bullet journals because I don't use bound books very well, because I'm so used to using loose leaf paper in a Filofax. And one of my ideas was to use a Filofax. This is my go-to Van der Spek. It's not a Filofax. It's gorgeous. And I will go back to using that one as my planner, but for a handbag book, I will use this one, which is my clip book that I bought a few weeks ago from WH Smith for £5. It was in the clearance section, so this I can just pop in my handbag, take to work, rather than having to take my gorgeous Van der Spek. But this one I think is great because it's bound very strangely, because it's left kind of raw at the spine. It's bound with, I can't remember what this one's called, but it's like the individual booklets that are bound together to make up a bigger book. And so they're stitched at the spine and glued, and you can feel the tackiness of the glue. So I'm going to cover it with some paper, probably cover the spine a bit more so that the paper doesn't rip. And then I'm going to use it, and if I don't get on with it, hopefully I will use it for at least the whole of July. If I don't get on with the book or the planning system and I stop using it, in the past what I've done is I have cut the pages out of the bound notebook, which means that you've got therefore a gap of however many pages at the beginning of the book, and I just continue using the rest of the notebook for something else. But the beauty of this one is that you just find where one of the, oh that's it, signatures, that's the word. You find where one of the signatures begins and another one ends, and you can just cut down. You can just cut down the binding, and it cuts the book in half. And then let's say I only use this much. I've got this much of the book left, and then all I have to do is create a front cover, and I've got another notebook to use, and this one I can archive. So that's the plan. And then if I do love the system, I might then buy more notebooks like Leuchtturms or maybe the Moleskine Expanded. And hopefully, at the very least, I will get out of this month the consistency of using a planner and fall in love with using a planner again, and actually be able to plan my life and be productive. One of the reasons that I'm using the hardback planner, although I don't know if you could call it a hardback book when it doesn't have a spine, is rather than the loose leafed, is because I think I want to archive this month's or this planner's pages in a bound book. Or I know I can bind Filofax pages, but I want to be able to archive them because I want to be able to look back and see what I did well and what I could have improved upon. And I'm very bad at archiving loose leaf pages out of my Filofax, so hopefully this will all be a great learning exercise, and I've heard great things about the book, so I will try not to make empty promises by saying that I will make videos every week or something, because I tend to say things like that and then not make a video about that subject ever again. So I will try to make one video at least, probably at the end of July, to tell you how I got on and show you my book. So thank you for watching, and if you are taking part in One Book July, then I will hopefully watch your video on Romany's playlist. Bye!